everyone, and welcome to the Kittens of Wargaming podcast, the podcast where the Kittens of Wargaming community talk all things video games. I am your host, my name is TurboTony, we're here. They were the mainstays of this podcast and they continue to do so. I love to call them the cornerstones every damn week. Your attendance has been noted and you'll have a plaque someday that will show.
Yay!
Yeah, that's it. We've got TeamugTom, HayhaySwanboat. Say hello to the masses.
Hello, masses.
Hello.
I love how we put our hands in the air, like everyone.
Like we
can
just
see
don't
that.
care.
Well, we're just like hello and raising our arms in the air, but like you can't see that.
Do you know what's quite funny? I do exactly the same. So
Just wait until we started getting webcams into the podcasts.
Our hands will be all over the place.
woo! I get very animated, so that's going to be interesting.
I think that's something we should do one day.
People will see, you know, on some days I record in different places, you know, so some people will see different areas. You know, people can wonder which room of the house I'm in this week. And
Ooh,
Tony Sherbat.
Tony Bingo, I love it.
there'll be a bit of mystery.
Go.
Tony Bingo. That sounds like a really bad bingo organisation, but let's not get into that. How are you guys doing this week?
Not too bad. Not too bad. University's cranking up, but that's just how it is in your third year. I've been playing a little bit of the game I've been talking about this week, and a lot of Minecraft.
Yeah.
How about you, Heavy?
I was forced to buy Minecraft.
You say forced.
I was forced. You guys held my fingers, made my fingers press the button to enter my card details.
through mental powers, you know. You could blame it on Barry the alien from my XCOM thing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mind control.
He did it for you.
Get him to buy me Guild Wars until it's gone down.
If you listen very carefully, you might just hear Barry the Alien say, "Buy Guild Wars" in the background.
Not until it's on sale.
Buy Guild Wars, buy Guild Wars, buy Guild Wars.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
That's not actually Barry, that was me.
Yeah. Oh, I did not know that. Ooh. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. You will get Guild Wars one day. Tom hasn't played Guild Wars for over 6 months, so.
Hey, university.
Yeah.
You guys are going to say it.
First, I'll finish my master's degree, then I'll get married, and then I'll maybe look into it.
Whatever PhD you get,
something
Tom,
like children.
whatever.
Yeah, well, thing is, Guild Wars 2 is also a really big commitment. I've got to tackle one commitment at a time. Masters, dissertation, then wedding, and then Guild Wars. It goes in that order.
Oh, life, why do you have to be so...
I question your priorities. You know, Guild Wars should be a lot higher, if I'm honest. You know, that's just me saying it. New expansion coming out. Come on, you know, you're gonna be behind everyone. You know, so let's get into this week's show. If you do enjoy the show, just want to let our listeners know that you can subscribe to the Kittens of War channel, and we'll upload gaming videos sometimes on the games we talk about, sometimes on just random stuff that we decide we want to play there as well. And we've got all sorts of gaming content planned to go up on there in the near future. Let's talk about our weekly gaming. What we've been doing this week. You've noted a little bit there about about all of us playing Minecraft, getting the Minecraft server. We mentioned I've finally built something on our Minecraft server.
Oh yeah, we need to see that.
Yeah.
It doesn't rival my Moroccan palace, though.
What do you mean your?
Okay, our Moroccan summer palace then.
Thank you.
Moroccan summer palace. It does overlook the sea, so there is that.
It's not quite a palace yet. There's only 2 floors.
No, you can do it.
It's a summer palace. I will build my winter castle up in the mountains later today.
And then I will build my dwarven hall.
Fine.
Winter
Singing
castle.
I've already done my dwarven hall.
Are you going to build like Elsa's castle from like Frozen? Is that what you're going for? Winter castle in the mountains?
No, I'm going for more Game of Thrones, sitting on the Iron Throne.
Oh my god, you're actually going to have an iron throne now, aren't you?
That is an amazing idea.
I would have to install a mod that allows you to sleep with your sisters and brothers in it.
No.
Yeah.
Hey,
if you're building it, you know, and beheadings, lots of beheadings. Yeah.
No.
But not the sibling incest.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
That's only one set of people as well.
Will and Tom are going to have some weird shit going on.
What is that other family that the Italian family that's famous for doing that?
I don't know. What the hell are you getting at now? What?
You're talking about the Borgias from...
Borgias. There we go. The Borgias.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, are we going to something that's happening right now, and there's some big incestuous family that I have no idea what's going on in Italy? But,
No.
yeah.
Oh, there was that ancient family in I can't remember the names, but there was a family somewhere up in the north that was killing people and living in a cave.
That's really weird.
And don't forget Fritzl. There's always Fritzl.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
we're on Italy actually, and really great people. Let's just say R.I.P. Mr. Ferrero Rocher. Well,
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Ferrero.
yeah.
Mr. Nutella.
The creator of Nutella has passed away. God bless.
Apparently, they're having trouble making Nutella now because they're running out of one of the key ingredients.
Not exactly gaming news, but this is key news nonetheless.
Oh
Yeah.
come on, Nutella is a vital ingredient of any gamer's diet. Okay, so this is gaming news. Okay, we can look at
Dude. Strawberries dipped in warmed, heated Nutella.
Dude, forget that. Pancakes. Cooked in Nutella.
Oh.
Yeah, fruit strawberries. It's like
That's
a
that's
winning
what
combo.
that's what I did Pancake Day, which was last week, wasn't it?
I think so.
So yeah, this is still relevant for the podcast.
Yeah.
This week.
What day is it? It's Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Or
was-
for you guys when you're listening, Wednesday or Thursday or
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
your other day.
Any day but Monday.
At this time of recording, it is Monday, 21:06 hours. It is this 23rd of February. When was Pancake Day? The 17th, wasn't it?
I'm no idea. Last Tuesday.
It was last Tuesday, which was the 17th. I had 6 pancakes.
5 pancakes.
5 pancakes coated in Nutella.
I made have strawberries on one of them.
I like
Which was
Nutella,
best?
but I don't like them on pancakes. To me, it just makes it like, oh, just too much. Just too much.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want too much. Haley tried to make a chocolate Swiss roll, which came out like a giant chocolate pancake
Fucking hell.
Nutella as a filling.
with Nutella as a filling.
Oh my
Talk
goodness.
about chocolate. That's chocolate.
At least you made the guy who invented Nutella go out in style in terms of your own.
I'd make you proud, Mr. Ferrero.
Just shoving it all on. Yeah, no, I did hear that. Apparently, like Nutella's in a bit of trouble because like their main ingredient or whatever is like a little bit scarce. But
This is actually something like a little bit like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, isn't it?
Out
Mr.
of hazelnuts. How can
Mr.
you run out of hazelnuts?
How? What? Nutella running out of hazelnuts? The world is
Because-
running out of hazelnuts.
I don't know exactly. It's just something that I heard that they were.
Seriously, it's
No. It's actually
due to hazelnut shortage.
Is that actually right?
That's
yes,
actually
I thought
right.
it was something like really some powder or something, but no, it's hazelnuts.
Some special kind of oil.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one of their little ingredients that makes it taste a bit different or something
Well,
like that.
it's not even that. It's just like maybe Nutella's was made with the tears of Oompa Loompas or something.
It says this is from the Metro. Okay, bad news, guys. There's a huge hazelnut shortage, which means Nutella prices might skyrocket.
Okay, to all you selfish bastards out there that eats hazelnuts just as they are, stop it.
We'll come to all of your houses and
Actually,
shake our
stop hazelnuts.
fingers.
Forget anyone else. Everyone else who involves Nutellas, who eats hazelnuts or uses hazelnuts in their product, stop it now.
It's gonna be like a purge.
Priorities here. Cadbury's, Nutella. Those 2 people should have all the hazelnuts in the world.
Do you think like Nutella's gonna become like gold dust and involved in like black market dealings?
This is really interesting.
Whoa, hold
The
on.
company Ferrero currently they use 25% of the world's hazelnut supply.
Jesus Christ.
Hazelnut flower fields in Turkey have been battered by bad weather this year. Ah, that's why.
Oh, so it's not going to last. So, whoa. Instead to hazelnut prices absolutely soaring. In February, they cost about $4,000 per ton. Now they cost $7,000 per ton.
It's because the bad weather in Turkey
Oh.
wouldn't be a bad deal, except that the 70% of the world's hazelnuts are harvested there.
That's not the worst sentence I've just read. If that wasn't bad enough, experts are warning that we may be out of cocoa by 2020.
What?
Whoa.
Don't you dare, you motherfucker!
I literally picture street corners, people selling like those tiny little fun-sized Cadbury bars for $10 each.
Yeah.
We got people on the street and it's just like, you got any Cadbury's, man? You got any Cadbury's?
Oh, that's gonna be me. We're scratching like scratch. Go to Cadbury's. Ooh.
Just eating everything else and just spitting it back out. It's just like, would you like some? Oh, what is that American one? Hershey's? Have a Hershey's bar and people just spitting it back out, just going, no! What?
That's disgusting, that stuff. I don't know why people like America. No offense to America, but your chocolate is disgusting.
Yeah.
I've been over to the States. I've sampled your chocolates. Hershey's was the only one I could get on with.
But they got fucking Lucky Charms, so that shit.
Who stopped?
Yeah.
They stopped sending Cadbury's over to America now. It's been
Embargoed or
embargo.
something.
That's it.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Just expats stockading their Cadbury's or smuggling it in.
Smuggling it in.
What is even happening in the world right
Yeah,
now?
I was about to say. Smuggling in Cadbury's like it's illegal. Oh, Jesus.
And in five years' time. Let's say 2020 is 5 years away. We might be out of cocoa. I can't even deal with that.
Hershey says here, in the dark, Hershey's lawsuit sparks British revolt for superior Cadbury chocolate. Yeah. The law seeks to bar imported Cadbury goods in the US and has caused British expats to rebel against the American chocolatier. Eating Hershey is like a dare.
I don't like their kisses.
No.
It's going to be ironic that like Tom playing all these depressing games and the one thing to drive him actually into depression is the lack of chocolate.
That would actually happen.
Basically,
You're actually going to see me just standing off a tall building. I would actually be playing the soundtrack unironically. How could this happen to me?
apparently,
Holding an empty wrapper of something that you had years ago.
What, that wrapper we just threw away?
Familiar faces. Mad world. Oh, God.
Basically, I think the lawsuit is basically around because America's importing too much Cadbury, so it's kind of putting Hershey's out of business.
Who the fuck cares?
Hershey.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. Does anyone besides the company cares?
They're investors.
Yeah,
And
that's involved with the
company
company.
people.
That's involved
I
with the
don't
company.
know, all right? Hershey lovers who like gone off chocolate or something.
See,
That was a weird fact, wasn't it? You told me that apparently who was it? Someone who works for Mars. Yeah, someone who works for Mars. They said that they stopped.
Each Mars factory in a particular country has a special ingredient. In America, it's expired milk.
So they stockpile expired milk for Mars chocolate in America.
Oh,
because
wow.
Americans like gone off milk chocolate.
Gone off milk chocolate.
That's why it tastes so disgusting.
Oh, that just
They
sounds
don't
rank.
say the chocolate in the States are not quite as milky or creamy and sweet as it is over here in the UK.
Because by the time they put it in the chocolate over there, the milk had gone off already back in the old days without fridges.
And apparently they haven't thought to change it.
Yeah, well, people are used to it and they don't like change.
No change. We'll take our shitty chocolate.
Say when Cadbury's, hopefully the 2020 crisis of no cocoa will happen, and Cadbury's can just rule the world. That is a world I will happily live in.
If I go on Tropico and build loads and loads of cocoa farms, do you think that will fix the problem?
If only.
Well, no, because then you're farming more cocoa, aren't you? You're not letting it.
I'm growing more cocoa as well.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
And you're only going to export it to the UK.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Just imagine if every country that grows cocoa suddenly turned around and said, you know what, no, we're not exporting to America anymore. It's all going to Cadbury's.
Do you know,
And Nutella.
that wasn't a segue, but that was a really good tie into games. How this is relevant to
I was
gaming!
about to say, how is our current rant even relevant to gaming?
I made it relevant.
I don't care. I don't care. It's about chocolate and that involves everyone, damn it. Okay? That's relevant to everyone that listens. So,
Also, because it's nearly Easter time, and we have to talk about chocolate.
yeah.
Happy chocolate season.
Yeah, we were going to Morrison's, and they're like 75p each at the moment for the little Easter eggs.
Oh, God,
The
I
Easter
actually
eggs
had
are
a
like-
Nestle chocolate egg, and I've been eating Cadbury's chocolate eggs, and Nestle just tastes like crap.
That's why I won't eat
It's
it.
overly sweet and not enough,
It's
and not creamy
grainy
enough.
as well, isn't it?
It's not grainy, but it's just there.
It's I don't know. There's always a hard
It's like
taste to
it's
it.
artificial
It's got-
sweetness,
it
you know.
just
With
tastes-
Cadbury's, it's a perfectly natural, organic sweetness.
Oh, you're so.
But the thing is that you give
So
those little eggs to kids and they will fucking consume it. They don't give a shit. They're just like blah 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 blah. My kids are going to be walking on the ceiling with the amount of chocolate they will have. They will be.
Kids don't know anything about chocolates. We are chocolate connoisseurs. I say we Hotel Chocolat.
Hotel
Hotel
Chocolat. We go to Hotel Chocolate.
No,
And we get
Hotel
the-
Chocolat. There's no
Oh
E.
yeah. And we get the we pay like £3 for a tiny bar of special chocolate that's been made from a special branch that comes all the way from the Caribbean, and it's a special section of the special ranch on the Caribbean, the plantation, and it's only a very small field, and sometimes you can't even get the chocolate because it's that scarce. But
The only other chocolate we get are like
Lovely.
£3 packets of 6 tiny chocolates,
Mm.
and they've got like
Raspberry
dried
They
raspberry.
got no
frozen-
freeze dried raspberries on top, milk chocolate inside. It's like a raspberry smoothie. Raspberry,
almost like a velvety
sauce.
raspberry jam sauce kind of thing.
Sauce.
Almost like syrup,
kind of like a cream, like a strawberry cream, but
but
raspberry.
So a raspberry syrupy cream.
I can only imagine right now is that we've got a listener who's got the fucking munchies after listening to us right now.
I bet you a lot of people
drooling
listening to this have a massive food boner.
Yeah,
right now.
they're just like,
Drooling
where's
on
the
keyboard,
closest
people.
chocolate?
I
Just
can
remember
tell-
before they eat that
you pop one into
chocolate.
your mouth, you savor it, you are gone
That's
for
that
like
one
2
chocolate.
minutes,
That one chocolate lasts. Like, that can do you for the evening.
and you're just like, no, do you know what? I don't need any more chocolate ever again. Taste-wise, I am golden.
So the moral of the story is save your chocolate because it might not be around there for much longer. So
Oh god, that's a depressing thought.
go.
Did you know even though Cadbury's is no longer a UK-owned company?
What?
It's part of a massive American group called Mondelez International.
I
And
don't
then
care
the
as long as
experts are
Cadbury's
hooked
is the
on the
primary
British way of
chocolate
making-
provider of the world.
Yeah, but they also they're hooked on the British way of making chocolate anyway.
And how is that a bad thing?
Mm.
If it works, it works. I say, if America's made superior chocolates, I'd be eating America's chocolates. But they're not. So I'm eating Cadbury's.
Cadbury's where it's at, man.
That's it.
Cadbury's!
Cadbury. I'm just going to name this episode Cadbury. That's
Don't forget
just
that when they first started, they actually built a village for their workers to live in the middle of Birmingham because there was nowhere close to live to their factory. So they built a village, and that's why you got Bourneville chocolate because that's their dark chocolate, and that's the name of the village.
I actually went to the Cadbury's factory. They give free samples of chocolate.
To everyone.
To
But
everyone.
It's not
6
just like little
bars
bits.
per person.
Yeah,
and
really
they actually give you this tiny little tub of pure molten chocolate.
Oh.
And that is the creamiest, sweetest chocolate I've ever seen.
And you've got some people making handmade chocolates in there, and you can have a go. Did you get that with the shells?
Yeah.
And then you walk through a factory, and there's open boxes up the top, and if you can jump high enough and you're tall enough, you can snag some more chocolate bars.
They don't like it.
Who's going to stop you?
Security.
yeah, I was going to say, the law.
They didn't get the well, even the teachers told you off, but the boys managed to get and snag some. Walking past really sneakily, like just skipping along and jump high, arm up.
It's mine!
Opposite slam dunk.
Yeah, opposite, yeah. A block, you know.
Oh, I wish we were talking about NBA right now because that would be the perfect segue, wouldn't it?
It would have been, yeah.
Let's
Would have
work
been.
it. Let's keep going. We can get one. Okay, who's first? Anyway, who's talking first?
Well, no, I went to weekly gaming. I had loads of stuff to talk about, and then it turned into a massive chocolate conversation. So
Oh, that's my fault. I'm so sorry.
it's okay. The only thing I was going to talk about is that I'm more than likely in the next 6 months going to be getting a new gaming rig.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
that should be fun. I'm
It's like
going...
so you're gonna get a new laptop.
No, PC.
Desktop.
PC.
Actually, that's the point.
Pretty good.
When we get our own place, we need to invest in a decent
that's
desktop.
later.
Gaming PC. I'm literally doubling the power of my laptop. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. And my laptop's pretty good as it is, to be honest.
You can probably run GTA on that and do Let's Plays of GTA.
Yeah. I mean, one of the good things about having the new gaming rig is that because it will be so powerful. I can, when the Guild Wars stuff comes out, I can play it full spec.
Wow.
And the only reason that my laptop now, which I'm recording this on, I hope it doesn't crash because I'm talking smack about it. But the only reason it's it's good, but because it's a laptop, it overheats and then it bottlenecks all the performance. So there's no point me having a really good graphics card and decent RAM because it can't fucking use it. It's quite annoying. But no, hopefully with the new gaming rig, roughly we'll be able to. I'll be able to basically what I want it to be is that I want to make it so every game that I currently have I can literally just shove a controller in there and I'm top spec for everything.
Nice.
Just give me Uber. I just want to see what these games can do rather than being oh, let's just play it on medium or low just for frames. I'm no, do everything.
Do you know, even our laptops, we got high specs on our laptops, but we still have to sometimes have a low spec just to. Medium graphics and all that, just to get it to stop lagging and make you feel travel sick from the juggling.
Yeah. Well, do you prefer a game looking good or having more frames?
I prefer more frames.
Yeah. More frames.
It doesn't matter how beautifully smooth everything is. If it chugs at the it's at the margarita buffet, then it's just not pleasant.
Yeah. And like, you know, when you're playing a game that has got any section of like PvP, which I play Guild Wars for, like you can put like a setting on Guild Wars that basically makes the game look like a pile of shit, but like it gives you that to give you ultimate frame. So when you've got that on, if I'm playing standard PvP, I always play on that because I don't want to die by my computer just like dropping a frame and me missing a dodge. So I'm like literally I don't care if the game looks like it was created in like 1995. I want to like have like full frames. I want to know exactly what's going on. So that's what I go for.
You could like it'd be people teleporting because you can't keep up with the game. The game will people will teleport behind you. They'll stab you.
Yeah, and you know we got thieves in Guild Wars too. So if they stab you in the back, you take like double damage. So you can't exactly like be I'm just sitting here for 3 seconds while my computer laps. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh no.
That was quick. So, and you know, one of the problems with Guild Wars as well is that like if you die and one of your team and one of the enemy is like in a down state, he rallies back up. So like there's like times where you could have like these two teams fighting each other. You go down, you die, the rest of them all revive, and you're like, oh fuck, we just lost the entire game.
Dodgeball, isn't it?
Huh?
Is that dodgeball?
No, it's no. I mean, kind of. It's
translated to Haley.
I'll tell you what, right?
Sorry, I dumbed things down.
It's like so in Guild Wars 2, right? Like in any game, you die, right? In Guild Wars 2, you lose your life, you go into like a down, like Borderlands. Have you seen Borderlands?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go down like that. If you manage to kill something in PvE, you go back to life with half of your original life. But in PvP, if you kill someone when you're in down state, you res back up. So you're not properly dead by then. But the problem is that it counts for everyone that's hitting that person. So like if 4 people on the enemy team are down, and I'm down, if all of them are attacking me and kill me, they all res. So it's like, there's these huge like moments where it's just like, oh god, we could have killed their entire team, and now they've all got back up, and it's quite mental. So yeah, new gaming rig. Looking forward to that. What kind of what kind of spec? Would you guys? I mean, are you fluid in computer lingo? What kind of spec would you go
at that? I just go. I want all the specs.
All of it. Just give me all. I at very least want 8 gigabytes RAM. I want a 2 gigabyte dedicated graphics card. Most likely an NVIDIA graphics card, and then I want an Intel i5 or i7 core. So it's essentially doubling everything that's on my laptop at the moment and making it.
Well, nowadays you could probably get a decent 16 gig RAM for a rig, couldn't you?
Yeah, but the thing is, when you get that, you have to sacrifice in terms of money. Then you're sacrificing what graphics card you get, and the graphics card can be pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So it sometimes, especially with Guild Wars, because of the way that the game is run, it's different to a lot of games. You want to have it like an overall kind of like specs, everything kind of like you can attack it on all fronts rather than having like one thing that's not that good.
Yeah.
So yeah, 16 gigabytes RAM. That's just like sexy to me. I've been looking through loads of PCs and it's like porn. I'm like, oh, I want it. Oh, it's so sexy.
Give it to me now. Grunts.
Yeah, because our laptops are 8 gig RAM actually at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What graphics cards do you have in them?
AMD. Let me just bring it up. And it was Function Escape, isn't it?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, here we go.
Do you have both the same like stacks?
Exactly the same laptop.
Oh, okay.
AMD A4 5000. So it's got Radeon HD graphics as well. So
it's not terrible.
It's quite good. For a budget laptop, it's not bad.
Yeah, you've got in your laptop you've got more RAM than I do, but I've got a better graphics card.
There you go.
But still, one is as good as the other. So, well, it depends obviously on the game. But new gaming rig. I just want it to be like, I want it to be like a big fucking hulking steroided out PC and be like, come on, let's play your hardest game. I can take it. And just be like, yeah, sure. Guild Wars on the highest settings in world versus world. Let's see what you can do. Let's do this. 100 against 100 in a battle. Let's just see how far you can process all of this stuff going on. So yeah, I'm excited for that. It'll be good. It's been a long time since I spent a lot of money on a gaming rig, and I'm like, yes, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. Any other weekly gaming stuff you got before we go into our reviews for this week?
Oh, goodness.
Or would you like to talk about chocolate for another 15 minutes?
Let's talk about chocolate. No.
No. What's your favourite chocolate bar? We'll fit that in there. Come on, we have to. What's your favourite chocolate bar?
Cadbury's hazelnuts.
Oh, that's a good choice. Good choice.
The one I described earlier, where it's very difficult to get a hold of it, and it costs £3.75 for one tiny 50-gram bar.
Yeah. I've always been a sucker for Milky Bars, but I'm a real big fan of white chocolate. Yeah.
I used to be into white chocolate, but now I've gone off it a bit.
And why is that? Yeah.
God. If anyone doesn't get why I'm giggling, it's because I have a West Indian family, and so the idea with me is that he's slowly becoming one of us. So
He's being assimilated.
Slowly getting a bit darker and darker by the day. Not literally.
It still doesn't sound right in Tom's accent.
It really doesn't. He tries sometimes, and it just does not sound right.
I pick it up. I do it better than most folk, though.
Yes, you do, darling.
You ain't going to come onto my court and play some game, are you, Tom? No? You ain't going to dunk on me, son. Hell no. Get out of here. This is my
Tony,
pain.
just don't. No, not even you.
We're going to slap the rest right out of you.
See, that's why I say stuff like that, because I know it doesn't work, so it's funny
you
because
stop.
it's like so bad, you know?
It needs to stop.
I do it because it winds you up.
Yeah.
I can't do West Indian to save my life, but I understand it, so that's something.
My students find it really funny when I switch accent randomly throughout the lesson.
Just to keep them on their toes.
You know, like, oh yeah, like over in California where they're all like hi and okay and oh my god and stuff like that. So
that was the weirdest thing you've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
What, California accent?
Yeah.
You've heard me do it before.
I know, it's still really weird.
Is it?
It really is.
But is it like a Californian accent?
I've never met a Californian, so...
So are you guys fans of dark chocolate? just asking. Are you guys fans of dark chocolate?
I have to nibble at. I can't scoff it like I do milk chocolate.
My favourite chocolate bar that I described earlier that you can't get hold of, that is a dark chocolate.
It is like 70% dark, isn't it?
It's just it tastes so fruity. It's 80% dark, and it's actually, you know, I think you're right, 70% dark and or 75, something like that. It's really fruity and tasting. It's strange to describe, but it tastes so different to anything.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We've been talking about dark stuff. We may as well go into Darkest Dungeon.
Yay! Well done.
I knew you were going to say
Swish!
I was contemplating stealing it, but no, I've stolen a fair few from you, Tony.
I was about to say, I set that up, you know, if you had stolen it from me.
Yeah. And going from darkest of chocolates, we're going to the darkest of dungeons.
Darkest of dungeons. It was just such a random question, you know, that I asked, do you like dark chocolate? Just random.
My brain just went, that is an odd question.
I find it odd. Why didn't I find it odd?
Because you love chocolate.
I did.
Yeah, you consumed in your love of chocolate.
Obviously blissful.
We're having a chocolate fountain at our wedding.
It's going to be amazing. I'm going to literally dunk my head in that shit. I don't care. I'm going to be covered in that.
So long as you wear, like, a beard guard.
Beard guard? See, that's the least of your problems. I'm going to be swimming in it, okay?
It's not that big.
I'll find a way. I really will.
I just imagine you breaking out a slip and slide.
I'm going to get a little paddling pool and just pour it on you.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. You know what's going to be quite funny? I don't think people know this, just going a little bit personal. I've never seen Hayley, like, in person. And the first time I'm going to meet you is at your wedding.
Yay!
It's going to be weird, isn't it?
So, it's going to be one of those things that we've spoken and you know, gamed with each other so much, and it's going to be the same for a lot of the kittens, you know, because you know people haven't seen each other and stuff like that, you know, in ages. Even Tom, like I haven't seen Tom in like years, so it's going to be like crazy. It's going to be like, hi. It's going to be like.
He's not a skinny cancer patient anymore. If that's what you're thinking, he used to look like a cancer patient before I got my hands on him.
And just stuff me full of chicken.
Chicken and chocolate. Chicken and chocolate. There you go.
I tell you what though, went to a West Indian festival, had some jerk chicken, took one bite and I said, what is this? And how my parents hated me so much to not give me any. It was the tastiest thing I've ever eaten. And then I had some saltfish.
Yeah. They say that like I literally gained another me in weight when I moved here to Ireland with my wife, so.
Oh.
They say when you're happy you gain weight, so there you go.
Yeah.
There you are. That's the way it is.
They actually say the most important thing to look for in a wife is cooking ability.
Really?
Yeah, really.
But what if you're really good at cooking?
Well, you don't want to cook for yourself all the time. You know, you might want a treat.
Exactly.
And you don't want, the worst thing is trying to fake that you like a meal because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings.
Very
Oh,
true.
this is really nice. Yum. Yeah, I can taste how it was burnt. I mean, the flavour. Yeah.
Very
That's
crispy,
good.
huh?
Cremated to perfection.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like stuff crispy, but like sometimes you can get someone that's like all that shit is just like fucking cremated, and it's just like, okay.
So cremated that it's practically black.
Yeah.
Like food like that though, it's really weird. I like sausages like that because they're really crunchy.
And speaking
And
of,
bacon. But speaking of very dark things,
I was going to say, speaking of black like the abyss you stare into when you enter.
I feel like we're trying our best to like talk about games, but our inner heart is trying to get us to talk about tasty treats.
I have to have a cooking podcast at one point.
Welcome to the Kittens of War cooking show.
weekly special. Yay!
Was it?
Do you know the microwave brownie in a mug?
Oh my god, we are never going to get to reviewing games.
It's like 30 minutes into the show. We've like talked like 29 minutes talking about snacks.
Segues. Okay, we're going to work a third. We're going to work a third segue in.
No. That will be the highlight of our cooking show.
No. You have to share this one because I just share it quickly.
Microwave brownie in a mug. You mix up some mixture in a mug, and then you microwave it for between 1 to 2 minutes, depending on the power wattage of your microwave, and you take it out and you eat the brownie when it's cold, of course.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And it's like you don't have to make a whole batch. You don't have to stand there whipping up stuff. You just
try and work the word dark in somewhere, just so we can segue again.
No, I've got something else that I want to talk about in terms of snacks. And this is really weird. I know we're going off on a tangent, but for some reason talking about snacks makes me want to host a kitten version of Supermarket Sweep.
Yeah.
You know?
Except we wouldn't go anywhere near the vegetables and meat aisles. It would practically just be confectionery
and dark chocolate.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, dark chocolate. Tom, dark chocolate. Come on.
But I just did one. Okay, dark. Well, I've got to make sure we don't do it when the lights are out, otherwise it'd be too dark, and it'd be just a dark dungeon.
The darkest dungeon,
The
perhaps.
darkest dungeon, perhaps. Yay!
Right.
Go, Tom. Just keep going. Go.
The darkest dungeon.
I just thought of something else. I'm joking.
That was a positively maniacal giggle.
No!
Like forces of evil that lurk in the darkest dungeon.
I have a new evil laugh, actually. I do have to share this. No, that was wrong. There we go.
Doesn't that just fill your heart with
I think Haley's drunk with chocolate power.
dark chocolate power?
Dark chocolate power. Lock her in a dungeon, Tom. Tom, come on.
The darkest dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every time we mention the word darkest dungeon, lightning, there should be a crack of thunder somewhere.
End this off.
I almost want to edit this podcast myself just so I can try and get as many lightning bolts into this as possible. Thunder crack, sorry. Anyway.
I would put loads of stuff on there if I didn't have like 3 episodes of podcast to be doing this week. So, Jesus.
That's a shame.
Right,
okay.
Come on.
The Darkest Dungeon is a roguelike dungeon crawler game created by the indie developers Red Hook Studios. The basic plot is, as the heir of a rich relative that used up all his money to open a portal in search of ancient power. Basically, your family line was very prestigious. You know, you look basically those ancient aristocrats from the 17th century, and they just do something horrible that just destroys the entire reputation of the family and practically the family itself. So you are a distant relative. You've now inherited this estate that is now crippled and ruined, and just you look into it and you're just like, oh Christ, we have just entered every dark fantasy story ever.
So it's basically the RPG of location, location, location.
Except it's the worst place you want to be.
Yeah, you know. What's that show where they try and flip houses? You know, it should be like that.
Changing house? I don't know. I don't.
What do you mean?
No, I don't know. It's because, you know, being, you know, a dad, I watch like tons of really shit daytime TV. And like there's this show where they get this house and they do it up and then they try and sell it for more money.
Oh, yeah.
Fixer-uppers or something like that.
I've got
that.
Yeah.
Well, basically, you're tasked to find the secrets of the darkest dungeon and redeem the family name and bring your estate back to glory.
And sell it for a higher price that you bought it.
Yes, exactly. No, it actually takes a lot of Lovecraftian inspiration. It's, as I say, you're the man you've inherited it from. He's just the pet. What happens when you get more money than sense? You just get bored of conventional pleasure. You get bored of wine. You get bored of hookers. You get bored of chocolates.
You start going what's Dorian Gray?
Exactly, and you just start developing deviant desires, and your relative finds out that there is an ancient power lurking underneath the house and wastes the entire fortune trying to get to it. He opens the secret door to a realm beyond, and everything just goes to shit.
Including the nearby village, would you say?
The whole estate is just ruined, and everything in a 20-mile radius, the entire forest is like inhabited by bandits and monsters, and it's just all oh god, very much.
Is there any rainbows in this that you can get?
I say, everyone knows from what I've talked about, I've played very grim and serious games. This is, without a doubt, the most... everything just feels so weighed down. I'm trying to think what the art style's like, but it's clinically depressive. It's... Okay, the key feature that's new that this game does, it looks into the mental anguish that you experience on dungeon crawling.
Oh, okay, like Fahrenheit.
Except actually interesting.
Okay, I love Fahrenheit, but there we go.
I don't get on with David Cross.
Yeah, the thing is about Fahrenheit, like the last third of that game made absolutely zero sense, but still, let's not go into that. I think that's like a whole different conversation. The internet and the Mayans are attacking us. Oh shit! No, let's not go into that.
I've watched Beyond Two Souls, and I was just like, what the hell is even going on?
I haven't even played that game, so.
Anyway, let's talk about gameplay before I get into. Okay. It's a side-scrolling gothic role-playing game, turn-based combat. You explore dungeons with a 4-hero team, and they are actually customizable. I had all the Kittens and more people actually as heroes, and I only had like a 12-hero slot. So you tell me how well things went.
I have one question.
Yeah?
Why didn't you record this shit?
I'm planning to, actually. I want to get Five Nights at Freddy's done. I've been meaning to do that. I'm going to try and record an episode tomorrow if that kills me.
It might do because it's fine.
Yay!
I've actually got to redo my second episode because that one balled up a little bit. But I've got a third one. The third one you'll love. Anyway, shush.
Oh.
So you've got 4 people going down narrow corridors. You get 15 different hero classes, which I'll go into later, and. You start off at your estate. You pick your 4 heroes. You give them the supplies they need to survive the dungeon, and you just go through and hope you survive.
Key point about the heroes.
Pardon? Key point about the heroes?
Yeah, when they.
Oh yeah, it's permadeath as well. When these heroes die, that's it. And I can tell you now, every kitten has died at least once.
I was gonna say, I think Tony and I died quite quickly, didn't we?
No, you didn't die quite quickly.
Oh no, I was really crazy, so I had to go and sleep with loads of hookers.
What?
I'm just gonna let that hang there just for a second.
I was in the middle of drinking. I was like, what?
That would have been so perfect.
That would be perfect.
Except it wouldn't be perfect for your laptop.
So basically, as I say, one of the things you have to deal with besides your health is your sanity. As you get, it measures stress. So as you go through, your stress builds up and builds up, and when it reaches a point,
you go insane.
Actually, something happens. Your resolve is tested, and something good can happen or something terrible can happen. basically it's like a big push to your extreme. You either rise or you fall with it, you know?
Yeah, it breaks you or makes you stronger. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I had to go sleep with hookers.
Because you got broken.
I got broken. So it was that or go to the, what was it, the other one? The nunnery or something.
Yeah. But basically, okay.
It was go to the abbey or go to the whorehouse tavern with all the whores. And I was like,
we're getting ahead. So when you've completed, when you've completed your section of dungeon, you go back to the estate and you've got to. You're healed when you get back, but you've got to do something about your stress levels because they remain constant. You can either drink your. You get two areas in which to deal with your stress: the abbey and the tavern. In the tavern, you drink, you gamble, and you whore.
Yay.
As in lay with, not whore yourself out.
Yeah, I was going to say, for extra money. Yeah.
You're still whoring yourself out, basically, just not being paid. You're paying someone else.
Sorry, I'm paying for that benefit, which really narks me. That's actually why I got narked at Chris, because sorry. With the abbey, you meditate, you pray, or you flog yourself. Self-flagellation, I think is the term.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fucking hell, Tom! You need to play some fucking good, nice games. Like, play a My Little Pony game or something. Like, this is getting bad.
I don't know what that will be, but I'll figure it out.
Actually, on Don't Starve Together, we need to do a video on it because I've downloaded Unikitty as a character.
Unikitty?
Yeah.
From the Lego movie.
Yeah.
So, but
she goes so fast. Sorry, Tom.
But each hero, you get some positive and negative quirks. Let's say Chris, God bless him, after a first few missions, he was nearing the end of his tether. I sent him to the brothel because every other slot was filled. You get one slot for each area, as it were. To when you start off, you get one space in the pub, one space in the gambling hall, one space in the brothel.
Yeah.
Space in the prayer hall, meditation, etc., etc. And Chris, after that, I sent out a new group of lads. They did their mission. They came back. Chris developed a love interest, which means he can only go to the whorehouse to relieve his stress.
Oh.
And that's one of the more expensive options for the tavern.
He fell in love with a whore.
He
did it, Tyrion.
Oh, that's not the worst thing. Haley developed nymphomania, but that's a positive trait.
What? So what?
Basically, you get an increased reduction in stress when she goes to the whorehouse. And you, Tony, if I remember correctly, you witnessed the traumatic event, so you couldn't actually pray anymore because you didn't believe in God. How could you believe in a God when you've seen such horrible things? That's actually a thing as well. You got your characters roster on the side. Occasionally they will make comments. New players will say, "I'm ready to go. Let's do this." And people will and as they go on, as they build up a level and there's stress, people will say, "No, I can't go back out there. I can't do this." And sometimes others with practically no stress will say, "I need to do something. I need to go." New heroes you recruit will say, "I'm ready, I'm raring," or stuff like, "Oh, this doesn't look like much. Oh, this is nothing. I can do this." But they always come back and they always say something like, "Oh God, what did I witness? What is going on? What's life?"
You're basically like constantly on just psychologically damaging heroes that come in.
It has an effect on you, I've noticed, because when you start out, you feel terrible. People will die. It's a fact of this game. People will die.
It's like XCOM in that sense. Like, you can't avoid it. Someone's going to die.
It's worse than XCOM.
Yeah.
Is it like this war of ours?
This war of mine.
I've avoided death quite easily on that. You do have to do some things that's probably... Well, you can actually opt out of... say you're going on a quest. If you feel it's going to cost more than you'll get from it and people will die, you could say, "Nope, opt out, everyone go home." They'll get stressed from that, but people will come back home alive. And say, I saw someone did a minor review on, people do reviews on the store page.
Yeah.
Store page. This one I felt summed it up perfectly. First death, unacceptable loss. Second death, unavoidable casualty. Third death, acceptable losses. Fourth death, no, it's not even fourth death. It's just first death, unacceptable. Like fifth death, unavoidable consequence. 10th death, hang on, what was it? Goodness me, I've lost it, sorry.
Yeah.
Starting from the beginning.
He did my cup of tea wrong. That's what number 10 is.
No, not quite. First death, unacceptable tragedy. Second death, unavoidable casualty. Third death, oh God, I keep forgetting it.
Just leave it then. Move
Yeah, I was
on.
about to say, let's skip that. Yeah.
Well, basically, it just devolves into a point where it just becomes necessary sacrifices. You just accept deaths are going to happen, and that's it.
I thought it would get to the point of he looked at me funny.
That's not even that. You just
stirred my tea in the wrong direction.
No, you just don't even bother naming these people.
Clockwise, people, clockwise.
I say with my first heroes, I named each and every one of them. Everyone from the Kitten clan died. Everybody died.
But I was in the whorehouse. I like
Haley's still there. She didn't go anywhere.
I say, how did you die? No, I can't.
I don't know how I died.
No, I remember how Tony died because everyone was going insane. This was Oh no, I remember. I know how Morgan died. I know how Tony died. Chris died from a necromancer. That was one of the bosses.
Question: did Will die, and how many times?
He died quite early on, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
He became paranoid and he wouldn't accept healing from you, Haley. No, that's it. I say you get all kinds of negative effects like abusive, paranoid, masochistic, and greedy, selfish, afraid.
Does the masochistic come from the self-flagellation?
No. It's just like
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so I'm going to talk briefly about the heroes. You get 15 different heroes. Each one have their own special abilities. You, Tony, were the plague doctor.
Okay.
Thought that suited you very well.
You were one of the supporting casts. You kind of hung back and you hassled enemies by stacking damage over time abilities like toxic clouds or plague-filled grenades.
Like poison stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. You were a support role, blinding and confusing your enemies. Haley was the warrior nun.
Yeah.
Warrior nun, yeah.
And she had healing abilities and I just focused her. She was the team medic.
Warrior nun addicted to sex.
Exactly.
That's exactly how it goes.
William, God bless his heart, he was a kleptomaniac and afraid of God, so he would only pray. But every once in a while, when we would come across some loot, he would go, "Ooh," and he would grab it and keep it for himself. Oh, excuse me, and keep it for himself.
Son of a bitch.
So I wouldn't have it, so I couldn't put money or artifacts into upgrading the town, which really frustrated me.
So you had to kill him, I guess.
So he was the guy at the very front of the party, swinging a sword and reciting holy passages that would damage unholy enemies. And finally, Chris, he was the highwayman.
Naturally,
he was second from the front. He had a pistol and a dirk. He was the critical guy.
Yeah.
I actually had Stacey on here as well.
Oh wow! What did you have her as?
She was the Hellion. She basically a female barbarian.
Oh, yeah, I think that suits her quite well.
Yeah, her being Irish and everything.
Aww.
Bright ginger hair, blue woad down her face, dressed in the furs of the monster she's killed.
Kind of like Boudica, isn't it? I suppose.
That's a good example.
A bit like Boudica. So a warrior.
She's got a massive glaive, like halberd, like staff, and she can reach really far to the back of the enemy and just slice them up.
Maybe like an Amazonian woman then.
I suppose that's a good way of looking at it, but an Amazonian from like the frozen north. She was a wildling.
She likes snoo.
Exactly. Morgan, he was the jester.
The jester? Oh my god, that's not right.
It's because of his voice. I just heard his voice, and he was very. I just imagine him being very theatrical in a dungeon environment.
Yeah, I just don't see Morgan dropping out jokes every now and then, you know.
He's just just like a bard.
Yeah.
He would have power ballads. If he was right at the back, he would play songs that would inspire everyone or terrorize the enemy, and he would have a stiletto and a sickle. So he would jump back and forth and slice up people.
Who was anyone the leper then?
I think I made Matthew the leper.
Sorry, Matt.
I made Matthew the leper because the leper is very, very powerful, and he's a solitary soldier, and he's very good at what he does. He's very self-sufficient.
It says he's a ruined man, a warrior, and a poet.
I think Matt would be happy with that.
Yeah.
We know. We said he already said that he was reciting poetry to Cassandra in the Dragon Age episode. So
there you go.
There we go then.
Yeah.
So, And who else was there? Martin was. I think I made him the bounty hunter, single target executioner, and crowd control specialists. Gemma, I think, was the grave robber.
Who?
Grave robber.
Wait, I know Gemma.
Yeah, you know Gemma. She's versatile and a nimble combatant, moving backwards and forwards in the range, strikes without warning and retreats in the shadows. Yes. Oh, the occultist. That was Harvey. Daniel Harvey.
Yeah.
From Trouble in Terrorist Town.
Yeah.
We know Dan, but you keep calling him Harvey.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's just the name I've associated with him, you know? So Morgan and Harvey both died to a cannibalistic hag.
Okay.
So when Dan listens to this, he'll know that Tom really doesn't like him.
I like Dan.
Because he's the only person that Tom will only call by his last name.
But that's
to him.
that could be argued that maybe Tom likes him more than everyone else because he's used a different way of speaking to him. You know?
That's true.
You know?
So
Hands off, Dan, he's mine.
you Tony, you died because you became masochistic.
Okay.
You died to a tier 2 necromancer, which really frustrated me. Chris, how did Chris die? Oh yeah, he died by mushrooms.
What?
What? What, living mushrooms that killed him, or eating mushrooms that killed him?
Living mushrooms that killed him.
Oh, okay.
And Will died by being torn apart by rabid dogs, I think.
Ooh.
Lovely. And do you get to see all this like play out in front of you as you're playing?
Yeah, well, it's not exactly like that. I mean, it's that in your standard combat situation, and just when you go to 0 health, there's a system called at death's door, to which you may survive the next blow or you may not.
Oh, okay. So it basically gives you one last chance of surviving.
It gives one last chance. You might be lucky and survive like 10 blows, or you may just not luck out at all and just die to the first blow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Morgan and Harvey, they were shoved into a cooking pot, and you had to smack the pot to the point where it would upturn and they would come out, or it would just throw them out at death's door, and then the hag would take a bite, and that was it. They were dead.
So how hard is the game? Is it like outrageously difficult?
It's outrageously difficult. It's XCOM difficult.
Oh wow. I do like me a little. I do like a game that treats me like a little bit of a.
I think I saw another review say if you love Lovecraftian XCOM but hate yourself, you will love this game. That's
brilliant.
You do actually feel the stress along with the other people, along with your characters, because I actually had to take a few breaks sometimes because I was just like, oh god, this is too much. I have to take a break.
It's kind of how is a raven like a writing desk, you know? Bit Edgar Allan Poe.
Very dark, yeah.
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 So, going back to the negative and positive traits, what you can do, you get a building called the sanatorium, which you can use to remove traits like neuroses, diseases. You get diseases as well, which really pissed me off. Because, oh God, Chris, God bless him, he got the runs.
Very nice.
Which reduced his speeds.
Yeah, I would have thought it would increase.
I was going to say that as well.
Have you tried walking around with
No, but I was just joking because I had Castle Crashers in my mind. Remember that
the
one
rocket
level,
deer.
the rocket deer. Do you remember?
Oh, you get things like that, like wasting sickness. You get traits like negative effects, like bleeding and blight, which is basically just sickness or poisons. You get different areas of dungeons, which have different themes. I'd say one is like a ruined Gothic church. One is literally walking through a sewer, and the other one is like I've only experienced 3 because I've restarted a lot because people would die, and I'm just like, oh god, what's the point?
Like XCOM in that sense, you know.
Exactly.
You get to a point you're like, there's no point
anymore.
I did actually have you, Haley, Chris, and Will as my top 4, and you were going strong, but then Tony died.
Weak link of the group.
Because we're all level 3. Everyone else was level 2 and below, and when you go to level 3, you're up 1. That was actually a surprising thing, because when you reach a certain level, you can't go back to easier missions because you'll say stuff like, "Oh no, that's beneath my ability."
Oh really? Okay.
You guys got very pretentious later on.
Yay!
And just like, no, I'm not going down there. That's too easy. If you're going to send me somewhere, at least make sure that I get physically and emotionally scarred from it. You masochist bastards.
Make sure that I despise the life I live right now. Oh dear. So, how much is the game?
$14.99.
Oh, that's pretty
That's-
cheap.
Yeah, it's not bad actually. It's really early access, but it's actually got a lot more going for it than most fully released games you see on Steam. And I actually saw this on a news report today that actually made me really appreciate the development team. There's 4 people, started off with 2, but they're working hard. They had a Kickstarter. They met their target of $75,000 in 2 days of release.
Wow.
But people who put a $15 is it $15 or £15 something like that backing to the project, they don't get an early access game, but they're actually working to change that so that anyone who's paid the price of the game as it is on Steam, they get the game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Good.
That's decent. They're working hard, and
They don't have to do that. It wasn't advertised, but
they're really. I'm feeling
They're all
for
about the
this
games
thing.
and not so much about the money.
Yeah, exactly.
They're for the art. It's not. It's that scene from The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger as the Joker, and he burns the other side. His half of the money.
It's
He's
not
like,
about the
it's
money.
not about the money.
I like gasoline and explosives. Both of them are quite cheap.
Yeah.
I'm a man of simple tastes.
Simple
I
taste.
want to do that exact scene, but with loads of copies of 50 Shades of Grey.
I want to see answers. I'm pretty sure people have done that, but I would love to see an
Did
answer.
you hear actually about 50 Shades of Grey? The lead actor said that he's not going to do it anymore.
Well, I don't
Oh.
He's not
know
doing the sequels.
because he knows it's shit. That's why.
I saw a review of it, and the problem with the movie is it's actually trying to elevate itself when it's.
The naive girl, she's like, oh yes, so many people say it's about domestic abuse. She's really naive. She says, but have they actually seen it? Because if they see it, then they'll know that Anna Steele actually she actually consents. That's the word. That was her voice. Well, it wasn't really.
You were reading out her statement in a equally dismissive voice.
Yes.
You were doing it silly because you. Her opinion.
Well, I just think she's really naive and stupid. Just because someone consents doesn't necessarily mean. Because it's also, you know what, fair enough, you may consent and have a bit of porn, fine. But then what's your impact on society, considering you're such a big thing? It's the ripple effect that you've got to consider.
So if it was advertising itself as
Porn.
as ridiculous fantasy smut, that's equally hilarious, then yeah, fair enough. But it's trying to portray itself as an actual proper movie.
Piece of art.
So
It's not.
it's not a
Super serious. It's
if it turned around and said, you know what, we're tried, we know what we are. If you want porn and ridiculous dialogue, come right in. Then I'll be like, fair enough, I can get behind this.
Stupid story.
there ain't no Cadbury's chocolate bar, that's for sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear. You know what? One of these days, I'm actually gonna watch the movie when it comes out for DVD, and I will review that shit.
It's not as good as the book
Oh, really?
because you lose the monologue, which is the hilarious thing, isn't it?
No, because it's really shit.
It's really shit.
Even the book is like beyond shit. It's so ridiculous.
That's the point. It's awful.
I
It's
know.
it's so.
That doesn't make it a good movie.
We went through all this at the end of last episode, so we can't go through all of it again. We are going to read it out though, at least one chapter.
We're going to cover this in our April Fool's special
No,
podcast.
we need a special 50 Shades of Grey show. Oh no, we were going to do one, weren't we? We were going to do.
Yeah.
We were going to do.
Yeah, we covered that.
Oh yeah, I'm going to
April
sort that
Fool's.
out.
April Fool's. You're hosting that one.
I talked to my lecturer about that. I can sort it out.
Yeah, we can get that shit done.
Yeah.
Anyway, what the hell was I saying?
I don't know.
Darkest Dungeon.
So yeah, you also get a light mechanic which when you're exploring dungeons. The brighter it is, the less stress you get. The more monsters are surprised, and the more damage you do. But the lower the lights, the more damage they do, but the more loot you find.
So is it dependent on oil fuel?
No, it's torches.
Okay, so how would they get dimmer or brighter?
Because torches go out after a while.
Oh.
Lights up in the torch, light goes back up.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You also got a food mechanic, so if you don't eat, your team will get more stressed and they'll lose health. There's also a camping mechanic. Say if you do a long stretch of dungeon, halfway through you can opt to camp, feed yourself, and reduce your stress by patching each other up and encouraging your each hero can console and encourage each other.
Morale.
Someone could give a heroic speech. Someone could meditate on behalf of everyone.
Yay.
Sing
So-
Kumbaya by a campfire.
So you were the meditator, so don't you laugh.
I was napping. Let's be honest now. I was saying I'll meditate for all of you. I was napping.
You did say something about God bless us the light, for the light shall show us the way, and all that nonsense.
I was sleeping in my sleep talking.
I just suddenly had this image of you just going, "Ah, the light, bless us the light." Ah.
Oh, they've all gone off without me. Okay.
It is actually, it's really enjoyable. This game. It's hard. It's brutal. People will die, and you'll stop caring after a while.
It's throwing meat into the grinder.
I think that's what someone said. It's meat grinder simulator.
Oh dear.
That's the reason why I'm not playing it quite as much as I should. It's because I don't have the heart to lose all the kittens.
Don't kill me again, Tom. Don't kill me.
So,
We'll haunt you, and I'll haunt you forever by saying "Buy Guild Wars 2 for Haley." That's all I'll say over and over. That's all I'll say.
when you go back to your state, you actually have a graveyard where you can just list all the heroes and the amount of Morgans and Tonys and Chris's and Martins and Haleys and Williams and Matthews and Chris.
Will's got to have his own wing of that cemetery. Guaranteed.
R.I.P. Will.
I'm really annoyed with him being a kleptomaniac. I'm going to send him to the sanatorium as soon as I unlock that bloody building.
Or you can just keep sending him into dungeons for him to die.
Stealing the treasure.
Oh yeah.
Dies.
No, even if he dies, he loses it all. Stupid git.
Is there anything else you want to talk about with Darkest Dungeon before we move on?
Sorry, say again?
Is there anything you want to talk about the game before we move on?
Algomas?
We live in a bleak and absurd universe where nothing truly matters and the only certainty we have is our inevitable madness and death.
Wow.
That's how the game will make you feel. That's the theme of the game, and it's amazing.
And yet, that doesn't get to you, but losing chocolate does. So maybe someone can make a horror game about that, and that could scare the shit out of you.
That wouldn't be taken seriously,
A
though.
post-apocalyptic game where suddenly all the chocolate's gone.
Yeah, and everyone's fighting for chocolate. And
like the Twinkie thing in Zombieland.
Yeah, like that,
I will probably become Tennessee in the post-apocalyptic.
What if like chocolate became like gold because it's going to expire? So then it could be used as currency.
Yeah, but
you
then
can eat your currency.
Use that to buy yourself a decent gun, or do you want to eat the damn thing?
Exactly. That makes it all the more tense.
We call it the Cadbury Wars that have swallowed the land.
Actually happened on Neo Scavenger. I got I get Twinkies. They're like $5 a piece. But of course, sometimes you get hungry.
Then you have to nom. That's it.
Yeah, but you want to try and save that for as long as possible so you can sell it because they don't expire.
Yeah.
Because they got too many chemicals and Americanism in them.
And it's polystyrene wrapped.
Yeah, that too. I can still get into that.
God help polystyrene wrap. Saving all of our Twinkies.
But do you know what? You can actually get like chocolate cakes in a can, can't you?
Can you?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, like you can get like a really crap tasting chocolate sponge that you then slip out the can and then you put it in the microwave.
This is a chocolate special, I swear to God.
It is.
Special.
I'm gonna have to just name this episode the Cadbury Presents.
Can I-
Not sponsored by Cadbury's, we have to say that, but I would not say no.
Do you know it's a Cadbury's game that I used to play when I was younger?
Why don't you talk about it in this podcast?
Because I've already arranged stuff to talk about the War of the Human Tanks.
So, segueing into that,
Yeah, go on. May as
War
well.
of the Human Tank, ladies and gentlemen. Really?
So is it from something really dark?
Oh, hang on. So I would give a massive paw of approval to The Darkest Dungeon, and I would strongly recommend it to anyone who hates themselves and looks in the mirror at some point in their lives and just go, what is the point of any of this?
Close brackets. So from something really dark, depressing, we move on to War of the Human Tanks, which is really chibi.
It's very cutesy.
I don't like it, basically. That was a really short review. Great.
Yay! That's like a world record right there. What the fuck is the War of the Human Tanks? What is this?
War of the Human Tanks is what it says on its website is a story-driven strategy game that pits the group of human tanks commanded by the player against the opposing commanding officer. It is basically strategic battleship with these chibi-looking characters that are actually machines, apparently, or lesser humans.
As you do.
That's it, really. And it's heavily story-driven, which means bad. not in a good way, because there's a crap story with really bad translation. So it's just all this really long story in between these short matches. These matches are really, really short, and they could be okay if that was more of a focus, if they had more development on that. But it's they're very, very... The actual game and interactive part of it is so limited compared to the lengthy cutscenes of just talking, dialogue, and it's a headache because it advertises itself as a strategic game, but it's not.
And it's got basically no actual gameplay elements in it.
No,
is this like Final Fantasy 13 level, or
it's basically
less than that?
It's a strategy/visual novel hybrid. Is that what you're saying?
It is, but it's not at the same time, because ideally, if a visual novel is a game, then it should have an interactive element, like Long Live the Queen, aka Pretty Pretty Pink Princess.
Pretty.
Would you agree with me with that?
I would agree, yeah.
Although, then you've got things like My Hatto Boyfriend, which is...
Hatoful Boyfriend,
yeah. That's kind of got elements of interactivity. It is kind of still along the same lines of Long Live the Queen, but...
There's tons of these games coming out, though.
Yeah.
Like, I saw one about these girls are apparently cats, and it's all, cat girls are a thing, and you have to look after your cat girls, and they're girls, just with cat ears, but they act like cats, and then it's all innocent and everything, and then there's a scene where the guy's showering them and you see essentially everything, and it's like, oh, it's one of those games. Okay.
Well, it is. It's just softcore, really. It is just softcore porn.
It's just I thought this game was innocent. I spent a lot of time thinking it's innocent, and it's like, whoa, okay, I see exactly what I signed up for here. I want out. I don't want any part of this shit. I'm gone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game's been made by Fruitback Factory. It's a
very distinguishable name.
Yeah, of course.
It's not about that. It's an indie game. Great, good for them. But I'm just giving you the name of them because that's kind of what we do. On Steam, it's mostly got a very positive user rating, but I think to be honest, the sort of people who enjoy this sort of thing, where it's very cutesy things. The kind of people, I suppose. They could be people. Anyway, cutesy people. They look great. And then it's there's not much to it. I think people just do it for the story, but there's not really much of a story. And
has it got lots of girls with big boobs?
No.
Oh.
Quite small cutesy girls. That's the thing.
But it does have cutesy girls in it, though.
It says here. I mean, one person called Sam has recommended it. He says girls with tanks equals good, girls as tanks equals great.
So I can't even fathom that. Girls as tanks.
Yeah.
So the girls are the tanks.
Yeah, the kind of human hybrids that are tanks.
So where's the cannon? Is it coming out of their chest or something?
Oh no, nothing as cool as that. They just hold the gun.
So basically it's not even a human tank.
They're not even... Yeah.
It's just holding a bazooka.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Which is why it's annoying. It's nothing spectacular.
That's like sitting in a garage and claiming you're a car.
Yes.
Like, what are the human tanks that just people with bazookas? That's infantry.
And it does not make me an armored personnel carrier.
Yeah, but I think I mean, on Steam, it's just people who like that sort of thing and get off on the whole chibi girls because they got these really creepy, dead, massive black eyes.
Oh god, that is
they are
unsettling.
huge, like giant, like teddy bears where they got black eyes. It's like that, and they're just huge. They got like 70% of their faces. I guess some guys get
It's
off on
like
that,
heads
and
are
that's
large,
fine.
are so much larger. I mean, it's
There's balloon porn out there, so I get some people get off on chibi.
Balloon porn. What?
Yeah, that's a
we
thing.
found the thing.
What? What? So no, you have to explain to me what the fuck is balloon porn.
We only saw a brief clip of this.
Okay, we saw a girl on GIFs with sounds. A girl in her underwear jumping up, bouncing up and down on a very large balloon, making it squidge, like move. Well, just bouncing on a balloon. Very large balloon.
But why?
Guys get off on it. There is a horny guy for every fetish.
Apparently so.
Have you not heard of quantum fetish mechanics? The mere act of mentioning a fetish causes it to exist, and chances are a website has existed for a long time.
Okay, let's think of one. Let's think of
fetish.
one. Confetti porn.
Confetti porn.
Can anyone else think of one? Come on.
Tea towel porn.
Lucky Charms porn.
Oh god, this is great. Okay, they have been invented,
and they have existed for all this time.
Yes, I love it.
Oh dear.
Sandwich porn is probably a
I don't. No. I don't even want to imagine that one.
pipe porn. No, that's got to exist already.
I feel like we're going down like a very shameless line of like.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Chocolate, and weird fetishes are this podcast.
My final point on this is that they're a bit more sensible on Metacritic, where they've actually labelled it a 5.8 user score, which is fine because I guess some people like it and some people don't.
So let's have a look at the proper critic reviews.
But do you think it appeals to its demographic though? Like, if it does, then at the very least it does what it sets out to do. At least.
He says he's given it 88. Come on.
That's about hundreds.
A fast, original, and very clever turn-based tactical combat game, which is a kind of modern version of Battleships.
That was October 2012.
It's not fast and original and very clever and tactical.
So you agree with Dark Station here?
Dark Station, with nothing to keep me involved, grid battles, while functionally sound and by themselves at least slightly engrossing, became just simple back and forth with nothing at stake and no real reason to care. Yeah, that is exactly right. And also, the story element, they were so long, I honestly did have them on fast forward through all of them.
Because you're just so...
And this panic is really annoying as well. Because if you forget to save at a certain point, then you've got to go through the whole story scene again, and you have got to find that fast forward button because it is not shown. It's not given to you.
You got to go looking for that damn thing.
All right, click the screen as many times as I could to get it go faster.
My God, come on!
Yeah.
just jamming like the mouse button as fast as you can just to get through it.
Mm-hmm. In the end, I didn't finish the game because I don't have time for all that bloody story, and I couldn't be bothered. It's just, it didn't have me invested. I just don't care.
Bored now.
How much did it cost?
Oh god, that's a good question. Actually,
I think you tried the demo, didn't you?
No, it was the full game. I think I got it real cheap, like
Yeah, they can't ask for much for that really. All it is just basic art design. That's essentially what they're selling.
Here it is.
Here it is. Page. Okay, $6.99
or $12.99 for the Imperial Edition, which includes the sound of the human tanks, which I imagine is the person just going brrrr.
Someone's getting off on those sounds, you know.
Oh dear God.
Oh dear. So does War of the Human Tanks, I have to ask this, does War of the Human Tanks get a pour of approval or does it get put in the kitty litter tray?
I love that kitty litter tray.
Just shove it deep in there, you know.
That's the point. We haven't talked about games we hated so often that we actually remember we have a litter tray for this sort of thing.
I think I'm the one who's put the most games in the litter tray. Soul Calibur, some other games that we did ages ago. But...
Oh, I remember our hate special.
Oh yeah, Destiny, man, that got crammed in there fucking hard, didn't it?
Here we go.
Call of Juarez, the cartel.
I bought War of the Human Tanks for $2.79 while it was on offer.
And you regret it, I'm guessing.
No, well, look at it this way, okay? I actually paid more money than I did for The Witcher 2.
That's crazy. That very idea. That game's a fucking masterpiece.
Exactly. The Witcher 2 was $2.24. The War of the Human Tanks was $2.79. That's GBP.
I got Witcher 2 free on two different formats. I got it free on
Yeah.
PC and on Xbox.
Let's just go to show people are willing to pay money for crap nowadays.
yeah, to be honest, there's so many games out there.
Kitty litter crap, in fact.
I remember that name of that cat girl thing. I think it was like Nico Para. Honestly,
Probably.
Nico Para. I have to look that one up.
it is fucking weird.
Like that. It's so bad.
Because all the time you're like, okay, it sets up that something weird's gonna happen, but it's so cutesy and it's so innocent, and then suddenly it's like, oh, okay, that's what type of game this is. Oh right. Just back out. So.
I can't even imagine that looking after a pet cat girl. That's just seedy on every
I think I
kind of
have
level.
actually seen some hentai about that. You know, it exists. It's out there.
So we've got furries, for God's sake. This is just.
Is there anything else you want to talk about War of the Human Tanks?
I think I have honestly talked as much as there could possibly be about this game.
As much as you want to, at very least.
No, it's just...
So I've taken a quick look at the art style. It just looks like something you can get on DeviantArt.
Yeah. Tons of those games on Steam are coming out like that. They're coming out by the fucking shed load. There's tons of them.
I'd say if it looks good, great. You've at least got that for you. But
there it is, Nico Para.
Oh God, what even the hell?
You just looked it up.
When it's just basically glorified softcore hentai, then it's just. Ugh. If you enjoy that, great. Just I don't want to share a conversation with you.
I think it's best that we part our ways as we stand. You know.
What's this? Is another one. Hyperdimension Neptunia Ari Birth 1.
What the hell even is that?
Oh, but they're charging 23 quid for it.
Packed with fast-paced turn-based RPG, fourth wall-breaking, trope-demolishing dialogue.
That's going to be a lie. Trope-demolishing dialogue. I do not believe
customization. Then you can shake a level 1 stick at. Oh,
so
Christ.
Wait a minute. Shake a level 1 stick at what?
You know the reviews for
shaking your stick.
I don't get that. And also
RPG.
Trope demolishing dialogue. I doubt that, especially when you say you can customize your outfit.
I just want to say, Nico Para Volume 1 is rated overwhelmingly positive. 97% out of 2,075 readers of this game are positive.
Oh, believe me, people who like those sort of games will fucking love it. But if you want any, it's just watch a Let's Play.
First review. User review. I don't have a girlfriend, but now I don't need one. Second one. I stole my mom's credit card to buy this. I'm actually wondering if this is pretty enjoyable novel if you like cat girls, mate, and cat girls. Available in Chinese, English, and Japanese for the UE, but with Japanese for the voices. No, this is a kinetic novel. No decisions, choices. There are obviously no H scenes. I think that's meant to be hentai. The art is marvelous and the characters are animated. You can even modify the bounciness of their chests.
Wow.
Set it to maximum and let the magic happen.
What?
I patched the H scenes, fapped through all of them, even the safe scenes, and took a bunch of screenshots and uploaded them to friends. Only then I rinsed and repeated a bunch of times. 10 out of 10. Thank you for the porn, Gaben.
That's a great review. I like that one.
It's literally for the girls.
It's for cat girls.
Cat girls, yeah. They have cat ears, and they're cats, but they're girls. With
I got this game for Valentine's Day. That's all.
Was it from yourself to yourself?
Yeah, apparently so. Okay, we should probably move on before we go and look up loads
I love
of
cats.
really
I love
games.
girls. I'm no pervert. Not at all. Yes, you are, Xenolink. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Okay,
so what's your game then, Tony?
my game this week, I changed it at the last minute because we decided... I was going to do Minecraft, but we decided that was such a big game and such a genre-busting game that changed, gaming, that it would probably be best that we did that as its own episode. So yeah. I've decided on the fly, so I do apologise if my notes are... I don't have any notes. It's the first time I've done a game without any notes. But I'm doing Hearthstone. Do you guys know what Hearthstone is?
I'm familiar with it.
I am reviewing a Blizzard game as a Guild Wars 2 fan.
Oh, this can only lead to good things.
Well, I like the game. Dun, dun, dun! Oh, shit. Basically, Hearthstone is a card game. It's an online-only card game. You can get it on PC, and you can get it on iPad and stuff like that, even though not advised really to play on iPad because I've seen so many people make mistakes and fireballing their own face and killing themselves on iPad. But still. So Hearthstone, this is like a big huge craze. It's like one of the most like streamed games around at the moment. People have like made like full livings on like channels dedicated to this game. It's got all of Blizzard's backing. Have you guys played any card games before? I mean, not like Pokemon or anything like that, but legitimate.
I was going to say
proper
Pokemon.
Yeah. Like, have you played it?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, that's quite hard.
But that's like not on a game. I was like Pokemon, physical game.
Yeah.
Physical card game.
Yeah.
I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what I was saying.
But that was only to help my brother because he never got good at school, so I was helping him because it helped his maths.
Yeah, well, that's one good thing. Hearthstone as well is quite good. I'm using Hearthstone as a way to teach my little girl maths. So.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So.
Tools for education.
Exactly. So you know generally how card games work anyway. You collect cards, you play your best deck, and hopefully you win. That's essentially it, right? The difference is with Hearthstone being a only online game, and it was built with the dedication of being an online game. If you're playing like a Yu-Gi-Oh game with cards, it can get very fucking pissy very quick because a lot of the game, a lot of it is just tracking rather than actually making plays. If you're playing with cards, the same even with Pokemon to a smaller extent, you're putting those fucking beads everywhere and all that crap. So actually having it as an online game, making the actual engine and the game itself do all the legwork for you, allows you to play more tactically and less about, okay, let me track what's going on.
Yeah. Just get the pen and paper out, and how many points does that take away? What's 2,000 minus 1,400?
Yeah.
I don't know numbers.
Yeah. The thing, I never played Magic the Gathering, so I don't know what it's like in terms of that, and I'm trying to explain. So, Hearthstone is a game, it says that you collect cards from the World of Warcraft series. World of Warcraft, yeah, I would say series, because you can get, from the Warcraft series games, and get loads of characters, minions and stuff from them there. You choose one of 9 different professions in each game that you play. You can switch between each game that you do, and the game does have some PvE elements now, but majority of the game is going against other players, either in unranked or ranked play. So essentially, what the game is it is obviously as I said, a card game. It's changed the meta a lot around here, but the way it works is that, and I hope this is understandable, and I don't weigh you guys down with too much stats because I have to kind of explain how this card game works in relation to other ones. But essentially, every single card that you have has a mana cost. So, you might have a very weak monster that has 1 mana, or you might have a really strong monster that's 1 mana but has a really bad downside, or along those lines, it has loads of different versions. But, it goes up. You gain 1 mana extra per turn. So on turn 1 you have 1 mana, on turn 2 you have 2 mana, so on turn 2 if you have 2 1 mana cards you can play both of them. So there's no limit on the amount of monsters you can play. You have to make it match up to the amount of mana you have for that turn. And it goes up to 10 and then it stays at 10. But majority of games end by the time you've got to 10. The one cool thing about this game that makes it a little bit different than other games is that you actually have like a hero ability. So you've got the 9 different hero classes. For 2 mana, each turn, if you choose to do so, you can do like a special ability. So like with the priest, you can heal yourself or your minion for 2 health. With the mage, you can damage anything on the board for 1 damage. With a hunter, you can damage the opponent's health points for 2 every turn that you use it. So there's like tons of different ways you can do it. And you may think, oh well, that's not actually that big. Actually, with the game, the way that the game is built, like that will actually hugely, and the way that the specific class cards are made will hugely dictate how you play the game. So like, as a mage, you will have the ability to ping off monsters that only have like 1 health and get them off the field, so you don't have to deal with them, Because the way that it works, when you attack minions, let's say you've got a minion that's like got 3 attack and it's got 5 health, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a monster that's got 5 attack, 4 attack but like 1 health, you may think, oh, but that one's got 4 attack. That must be the strongest monster. Actually, it's not, because you can attack no matter whenever you attack something, you always take the damage back. So as a 4-1, attacking a 3-5, the 3-5 will still survive with 1 health remaining and it can still do 3 damage. So it's all
Right.
about board control. It's all about removing their monsters in the best way possible, conserving your mana and using your spells correctly, and trying to either stem the tide of the opponent attacking you, or putting the pressure on them and maintaining control. And it's like this back and forth of momentum
Hmm.
at times. The one cool thing I do like about it is that in majority of card games, especially in Yu-Gi-Oh, people who played Yu-Gi-Oh, if you play a card, you can't attack your opponent's life points unless you've cleared their board. You need to kill
Yeah.
everything there. In Hearthstone, unless you've got a minion with taunt, which is not rare, but it's not common, right? Only certain minions have taunt. You can attack your opponent's life points directly at any time that you like. So
Hmm.
it becomes this thing that at some points, when you've got to, this is why Hearthstone is so. There's a few reasons why Hearthstone is great, and one of them is because you have to like build into the match and you learn things as you go along. But one of the other things there is that you might come to a point where you've got like 2 like armies of minions, and you have to decide: do I trade my minions into his minions, or do I decide fuck it? Now is the time that I attack with everything I've got and hope that I can get the damage to kill him next turn. And it's like this big like moment where you go, okay, do I risk it all, or do I try and hang on and try and maintain control, or really get aggressive? And like it's like that back and forth. That's that that decision in your mind. Like, do I go balls deep on this guy, or do I just like conserve what I've got and try and
Keep
hang
your
on?
dignity.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Try
Listening to you and the mechanics and just the way that you said about the mana system, it very, very strangely and very loosely reminded me of another card game. This one is within it's like a side game, mini game within the Final Fantasy series.
which Final Fantasy one? There's loads of
In-
different card games with them, isn't there?
yeah, in particular, I would say number 8 most closely because they have independent numbers.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, the difference with 8, you're flipping over the cards, you're not destroying them. Whereas on
Yeah,
this
of
one,
course.
you're killing them off and they're dying.
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's very loosely, but it's just with the mana system.
Yeah,
You've got to be careful of the points and very strategically place numbers very carefully.
yeah.
It just loosely reminded me of it.
Like the winners of the way that you win a Hearthstone game is by making sure that your minions can kill other minions of the same mana, but still
Mhm.
remain on the field to attack again. And so that way, either you play tactically or you choose the right cards, or you build or you play to your card strength. So you might have an entire card, entire deck made of cards that are meant to damage your opponent's life points, and you literally just go uber aggressive. It's full aggro, attack, 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 attack. Don't care what he's got on the field. I want to kill him before he kills me. And there's
Mm.
stuff like that. And other ones which are controlling decks are okay. I'm here for the long term. I want to make sure that I've got the highest chance of winning the game the longer it goes on. So you have this. Sometimes you have this mix of really cool sort of mix of decks where Tom might play a very full like aggro deck and he's trying to kill me as quickly as he can, but I might have like a ramp deck, which is like Tom might have loads of monsters that are 1, 2, and 3 mana, so he's literally throwing them onto the field every turn, monster, 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 monster.
Mm.
Whereas I've got lots of very high cost minions that I wait until the end of the game to play, and that way, if I can survive long enough with my spells and the minions that I do have, and Tom just doesn't play correctly, then at the end of the game, I'm going to dominate because I've got all the late game, and I'm just like bang bang. I've got all the tough monsters, and once it gets to that point, you'll have to play really well to beat me, sort of thing. So
Okay.
it's a good mix, and there is a lot of times they added in an expansion with this. This is a free to play game, by the way, so
Oh.
you can pick up whenever you want. I know Chris has been playing it recently. Um,
Oh.
but they've added an expansion called Goblins versus Gnomes, and it changed the meta up. And basically, what it is now is it's added like tons of like randomized elements into it.
Okay.
So now what will happen is that a lot of the really powerful cards in the game will have lots of random elements. So, for instance, like Shadow Boxer, if you heal something on your side of the field, it will attack something on the opponent's side of the field for 1 damage, but it's random. It can attack anyone. Madder Bomber will do 6 points of damage, but to random things. It could technically attack you 6 times in a row. It's like mental, and it's like risk and reward. Do I play this under the chances that it might succeed? And it's come to these points now where you can have absolutely bonkers plays and like things that are just going crazy sometimes, and like you've just got to try and maintain the chaos, figure a way that you
Shakes
can
things
actually
up
do
a
that.
bit.
Yeah, yeah, because beforehand, what was happening in the game is that there was like loads of decks that worked, and people were just sticking to them. Whereas now it's a lot more varied. There are decks that people use that are the strongest, but now I find there's way more of them, and there's way more ways to combat those decks. You know, previously before people would run like a Warlock Zoo deck, which is basically the Warlock can use 2 mana to draw a card, and it will damage itself for 2, which you think that might sound like crap, but every card you get is another option you can use. So actually it gives you card advantage. And what they'll do is that they'll have tons of like 1 mana, 2 mana monsters, and they'll throw them onto the field. And essentially then you could kill someone off without even playing the game. It was a little bit too, ugh, I'm playing against this again. Now with the GVG, there's tons of stuff to negate that. So like now it's a lot harder. No one plays that anymore because it's just too easily dealt with now. So
Okay.
they've managed to get away with it, and a lot of the games now will last a respectable period of time. The only 2 ways that you can lose in this game is that you don't play efficiently, or you're just unlucky in drawing your cards. But that's the same with every game, you know. Every card game, like occasionally you will come up to a game that you draw badly. You just can't get away from it, you know. The other opponent might draw every card he needs. You might draw all the cards that you don't need. It's just the way it is, you know. So yeah, it is a free-to-play game. However, there are microtransactions because you can buy packs. But the way that the game works, and I do like it. Some people don't, but I do. I've never bought a pack in this game with money. I've got the entire PvE section where you go against like really tough bosses with your deck, but it's like it's not other people. It's like bosses with their own cards and stuff, which is quite fun.
Is it like training, or is it just like AI?
You got it's AI, so that you can go training, but you also got like this other like PvE thing where you go against loads of these bosses and you unlock cards for each boss that you beat
That's
go
cool.
into your deck. But you have to unlock that with money, or you unlock it with gold. And every day you get a quest that gives you gold. So it might be deal 100 damage to enemy heroes, defeat 3 people as a paladin, deploy 30 minions that are 2 mana or less. That sort of stuff.
Okay, so there is a way to get all this gold that you need, but then there's the quickfire way with money.
Yeah, so like if the way that I look at it,
making transactions, because sometimes it's really asshole, like they're completely different currency, which unlocks elitist stuff. You know where there's money to buy stuff that you can't unlock with gold and such. But
like the most powerful
people still go for it, don't they? Still go and buy the quickfire stuff, which is fine. But so long as there's an ability for people to unlock it through not physical money.
Yeah.
So I imagine Blizzard's got advertising on the site as well.
What, on the game? No.
Yeah.
No, it has no advertising.
Is there not? Oh,
No.
That's cool.
Because the game is quite popular and people do buy the odd pack, everything like streamers and stuff. I imagine they make their money back pretty healthily.
Yeah, of course.
The thing is with the buying of the packs, I firmly believe that a person who knows how to play the game can beat someone with a basic deck over someone who's just picked up the game and has bought tons of packs and has like all these new cards, because you know how to play the game better than they do, regardless of the power of the cards. You'll be able to.
It's more strategy than it is more strategic than your guns, right?
Yeah. I mean, it comes to a point now that obviously, if I were to play... Chris doesn't believe this for some reason. I don't know if it's him joking around with me. But if I were to play Chris with my decks, I would annihilate him. Because I know my decks and I have powerful cards. I have legendary cards.
That sounds like smack talk to me.
I'm just saying, like, if he was in the opposite position, like, the fact is that I've got cards. I've opened up, like, tons of packs because I've been doing all the quests and stuff and getting the gold. And I know how to play the game. I have 2 things over new players. That's why it doesn't pair me up against new players, because I will obliterate them. That's just the crux of it. But if I go against players that are above me, they will trade better than me and they'll beat me. You know, it's the way it is. One cool thing about the game as well, I don't want to obviously talk about it too much, because really there's if you want to know about what Hearthstone's about, you have to watch a game. And there's tons of streamers out there. Total Biscuit does tons of Hearthstone stuff. Trump is a good good guy to watch. He actually does like a teaching of the game and teaching how to trade properly and how to get the most out of your cards and stuff like that. So they're great ones to go and watch. But the reason why I love Hearthstone is because obviously it's free, so you can get it at the game, and it's a very high quality, it's a Blizzard game. It's high presentation, it looks gorgeous, and it plays and it runs perfectly, right? As you would expect, they've got the money to make a game of that caliber, As much as I'm a Guild Wars fan,
Yeah, I
World
was
of
going to say,
Warcraft
well,
is the
considering they do, wow, I would imagine they do have quite a bit of money.
yeah they must do.
You know,
Yeah, to be
that
honest.
vacuum where all that cash goes has got to have an end somewhere.
There's a guy somewhere, and they're just sitting on a pail of money, just like, this is my world right here. This is my World of Warcraft,
Swimming pool of money.
Swimming pool of money. That's it.
Oh, you can't swim in gold coins. They form a massive solid object and not a liquid. Ah.
Oh dear. So with Hearthstone,
Yeah.
like I said, the reasons why I do like it are because it is free, but also because of the fact that you always feel like you're slowly getting better, not only at the game, but because you're obviously getting cards at the same time. So you may be playing with very basic decks to begin with, and suddenly you get cards, and you're like, wow, that really would work in a deck if I create it like this, and you're starting to swap cards in and out, making new decks. And then once you've played lots of it, and you've got lots of cards, then you're like, okay, now I can make some really powerful, really gimmicky decks. Like you can make an all-mech deck, you can make an all-pirate deck, you can make a all-demon deck for like a warlock or something like that, and it's like I've got like a full like mech demon slash deck, and like playing with some of it, some of the mechanics are like, oh, if you defeat this demon, then it summons like a stronger version of that demon without me using any mana, and it's like, fuck you, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. So there's loads of stuff like that. Being able to synergize your cards is the way to success, and it feels so good to be able to do that. So, this thing dies, does it? Well, it actually spawns another monster, and it gives this thing a buff. Ha ha ha! You didn't see that one coming, all this sort of stuff. And it's like, yeah, once you get really good at the game, you can like basically chain stuff, and it's awesome. You can trade as it goes from there. So, one of the good things as well is if you maybe think, okay, you can only have 2 of the same card in a deck.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get more than that card, you can actually discard it. It'll give you dust. And then if you get enough of that, you can craft cards that you want. So that way you don't have to rely on the randomness of opening packs. If you want a certain card that makes your deck complete, that your deck, you're like, oh, this would be really powerful, but I have this one card, I can't get it to really make it stand out, really make it powerful. You're like, okay, well actually now I can save up the dust and literally just craft it, and there you go, it's in there. You can use it.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, it's quite good. I would urge anyone who hasn't played this. I mean, everyone has. Like, a lot of people that are into card games, like I am, have played Hearthstone. If you haven't already, I'd urge you to check it out. Even if you're not into card games, because it is awesome. There are moments in playing a game of Hearthstone that you're just like, it gets you on the edge of your seat. It always comes to a point in the best matches where you've got one decision. And if you make that decision correctly, you win the game. If you make it incorrectly, then you lose. And it's those moments you're sitting there and you're like, okay, and you're like looking at the screen, knowing that the time is ticking down. You're like, what do I do? How do I play this? Has he got this card that can counteract it? And it's just like all this stuff going on in your head. It's awesome. So, Kitty Paw of Approval. It's free, and yeah, if you download the game, sure, there's guys like me that have like legendary cards and stuff and could trounce you, but Blizzard's matchmaking is good enough that you won't go against those people that much.
So you won't see Tony.
If you pick up the game, unless you
You'll
look
only
for
see
me,
Tony when you're ready for Tony.
yeah, I'll be standing on a plinth of broken soldiers, waiting for you with my ramp druid deck. With my ramp druid deck that has like tons of legendaries at the end of the mana curve, and I'm like, oh, we've hit.
No. See, now I can see Tony. He's not going to do any of that real massive villainy stuff. What he's going to do, he's going to stand there, look down his nose. You're feeling lucky, punk.
You've come to challenge me, have you?
Oh, you poor sweet summer child.
And yet there's a guy above me on that plinth going, you think you're good. You're not as good as me, and I accept that, so that's fine. But there is something cool knowing that because I've played it for so long, I've got like these legendary cards, and I've got like a really good ramp druid deck, which is like once I get to like mana level 5, the 5th turn, I'm literally just throwing out uber monsters every single turn. I'm like, now it's time to play, and it's just like really fun when you've got someone that just can't keep up with you, and they're throwing out monsters like, trying to get rid of them. I'm like, oh, you managed to kill my monster by sacrificing 4 of yours. Here's another one of my monsters that are super powered. Take that. So yeah, it's quite fun.
I can do this all day, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, you've got a spell that turns my thing into a frog. Well, here's another one. Deal with that. So yeah, it's quite cool.
What saith you now?
So I give it my paw of approval. Obviously, it is a awesome game, and it doesn't cost you any money.
That's rare. That's really rare.
A good free-to-play game.
Yes, definitely. I honestly, when I got into this, this is how I got into it, and I'll accept, right? I'm a Guild Wars player, so I didn't want to accept that Blizzard makes good games. It's just part of me. I know I don't want to be that biased, but the fanboy in me tried to, right? And I play it, and you realise that the game is so finely polished, and it's such a joy to play that you're just like, you can't fault it. It's good. It's just good. You know, it's a good game, and I have sunk many hours into it without paying a single penny, and I've enjoyed all of that time. So.
That's very good.
Brilliant.
Even times where I've made the wrong decision and I've banged my head against the table going, I'm such a stupid fucking idiot. Why did I do that? And it has been a few
those
times.
moments, though, in real life and in gaming life.
Oh, Tony, why did you not get healed? You masochistic bastard.
Oh, there is actually one thing I forgot to state. One of the really cool things about this is that you can play with your decks, right? So you craft a deck and you go against other players, right? One of the really cool things that they do in this, and I haven't seen it in any other card game because I don't think it would work that well, but what you can do in this, you pay 150 gold, right? Packs, by the way, are 100 gold each. So you pay 150 gold, you go into the arena, right? And what you do, it gives you a choice of 3 of the classes, you pick one, and then out of the 30 cards that are in your deck, it gives you a choice of 3 each turn, you pick which one you want out of the 3, and then basically from there you make a random deck. And then you go against other people that have made random decks as well. So instead of it being, oh, okay, I've got a full like demon deck and it's all this works together. Now it's like I've got all this like stuff that may not work together, but I have to make it work together, and it's like juggling all these things. And then
nice challenges.
When you lose 3 times with that deck, you lose it forever and it's gone. And then you get like you at very least always get a pack, but you might get extra gold depending on how many wins you get with it.
Yeah.
So I think the furthest I've got is 9 wins before losing the deck, and then like once you get that, you get like 150 gold, loads of dust, a card, and then a pack. You get loads of other stuff. So it's like, do you risk the 50 gold, the 50 extra gold, because you get a pack anyway, to go into the arena and like play more matches and hopefully win? And I'm like, always, every single time, I'm like, let's do an arena run. I never buy packs. I always do arena runs.
So then, do you have like certain cards that you have on the sidelines to say like they're your, say, inverted commas, rubbish cards that you'll use for these arena runs?
No, it's not done like that, because basically what in these arena runs, it goes from all the cards in the game. So you can have an arena run full of cards you don't have. So it lets you test them out. Yeah, including legendaries, yeah.
Is that a risk worth taking though, man?
Well, it doesn't get rid of any of your cards. It's just for that run.
Oh, okay.
So you know what I mean? So when you're taking these cards, they're literally like they're only there for that deck,
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that you would lose the cards. Those cards that you play, that deck that you play, you lose.
Yeah, well, no, but technically, like you only get those cards for that run, and you can only use them in the arena. And then once that's over, then you have to restart again. So you don't get those cards. But the cool thing about the arena is that it gives you a chance to play with lots of really powerful cards that you probably haven't pulled yet, and have a try at them. And at very least, if you get no wins and you lose 3 times, so you lose the deck without getting any victories, you at very least still get your card pack at the end of it. So you can open up some new cards for your constructed decks. So it's a cool way that, like, because I've played so much constructed with the decks that I know, it's fun to play arena, because then you're playing with like a completely random deck. And like basically going forward, just seeing how far you can go with this motley crew of monsters and spells that you just grabbed out of nowhere. So it's good fun. In fact, I probably will record an arena run and show you what I mean.
That sounds like a good idea.
and I'll
tension, the tense. So it's like it's not quite like I don't know what's like a really tense. There isn't really anything as tense as a card game, really, is there?
When it gets long, especially when you're like, especially in the arena mode, when you've got like I said, 9 wins, and you're trying to get to that very elusive 12. At 12, it just gives you everything at the end anyway. Doesn't let you go any further. And you're trying to get there, and you've got 2 losses, and it go down to like a turn at the end of like that thing. You're like, if I lose here, I lose this great deck that I've got, and it's like, oh my god, like what do I do? How do I play this turn? This turn is pivotal to my success or failure. It's a great feeling. That's why I love card games, because a good card game can give you as much exhilaration as any Call of Duty game can,
if not more.
and you don't need explosions and guns and
Michael
American
Baynes.
flags being thrown in your face for you.
We just call it Michael Baynes now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll tell you what, I will record an arena run sometime and I'll post it up. So at the very least a few games out of it. Pour approval, you guys going to try it sometime?
I'll be honest, probably not, because card games
don't
really
quite do it for me.
I didn't sell it enough to
I'm not.
I failed.
That's not that. I'm just.
I commit Kit and Harry carry. No, okay. Maybe not.
I don't know. I've got so much to already listed on my to play.
I'm adding loads of stuff on there, like Guild Wars, Hearthstone, all this other stuff.
Yeah, and all this other stuff. But like, I haven't even played my Secret Santa yet. I haven't played that game.
What was your Secret Santa again?
I don't even know. Valkyrie, I think. Sky. It looked cool. And like I said, Witcher 2, I haven't even opened it. I haven't even installed it yet. You know, it's just... I haven't even done my homework yet. So I need to do that.
What are you even doing with your time?
See, what I would love for both of you to download the game and record you playing against each other, not knowing how the game works. I would love to watch that. Just like, I'm going to play this and hope it works. Sort of thing.
Dude, wasn't that... Oh God, what is it? The heist.
Oh, Payday the Heist.
Payday the Heist. Wasn't that what it was about? I was like, what am I doing? I'm running in directions. I can shoot things, and then you're like, come on, we're gonna move. We're gonna where? Why?
Oh my God, Haley, you're jeopardizing the whole team here.
Yeah, you guys just threw me in there. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
You're such a thing. Get in the safe. Take the money. Now run.
Where is this thing?
Don't ask questions. It's get in there.
It was pretty hectic, and that's why I'm sad that it didn't record properly. That's fucking annoying.
Oh, we have to do another crazy. Haley can't play.
We'll do a series. Haley can't hack it. Haley can't hack it. We'll put into loads of really crazy
That's
things.
a great name for Haley's Let's Plays.
Yeah,
try it. That's going to be the Kittens. We can't play these games. Such and such can't hack it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love it.
And if Chris is watching this, by the way, if he still thinks he can take me on, then I'm game for it. I've told him I'll record me and him having a match on Hearthstone. Absolutely. But
the challenge has been laid up.
The challenge is even there. You know, the fact is, I said to him, oh, we should play against each other sometime, but, I might play with some of the basic decks because my decks might be too strong. And he was like, oh, no, come on, that's fighting talk. I was like, oh, you really want to go, huh? Okie dokie, let's do this. So, the mark, yeah. He has slapped me with the backhand of his glove, and I am replying in the same fashion.
Say, sir, you have dishonored me.
Yes, exactly. Okay, is there anything else you guys want to chat about?
Briefly, let's talk about the Razzies. Because we've had this week, haven't we? You know about the Razzies, don't you?
No.
You don't know about the Razzies?
Best supporting actress, best picture, etc., etc.
Yeah.
The Razzies, or the Raspberries, are the exact opposites.
Okay.
The worst.
Okay.
Next example, do you know who got the worst director this year?
Michael Bay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great.
Who got worst actress? Go and have a guess.
Think Michael Bay.
Oh, plastic surgery girl. Oh God, what is her name? She's got black hair, stupid boobs, stupid lips. What's her face?
Megan Fox.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah. Yeah, bonuses.
I'm such a nice person.
So was that worst actress or worst supporting actress? Because if it's worst actress, I was actually quite surprised. It was Cameron Diaz, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No. In what?
Annie.
the other woman.
Sex Tape and The Other Woman, yeah.
To be honest, Sex Tape was a bit of a waste of time.
I'll tell you what, she hasn't had that much good stuff this year, though. There's not been much out for her.
You say that most years she doesn't have that much good going for her at the moment. So.
Yeah. Well,
So Bad
she can be
Teacher
good.
was all right. Was
It was okay. It wasn't offensive. Well,
it was mind-numbingly awful.
Yeah. I don't remember anything that happened in it. But
guys. Cameron Diaz, name something that she was really good in.
Was the one with Tom Cruise?
I enjoyed Night and Day. I did enjoy that.
Oh yeah, Stacey watched that recently and she liked it. So
I say this worst picture and worst actor was Saving Christmas, and Kirk Cameron in Saving Christmas.
Nicholas
Cage in Left Behind.
Never saw it.
Neither did I.
Oh my gosh, worst actress Drew Barrymore? That's a lie.
Blended, with Adam Sandler.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That did look really stupid. Shelley's Theron! A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah, apparently those were nominations. I can understand why people would say it's the worst, but it was awful. But I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was a guilty pleasure. It's also because I love that song, the Mustache song.
And I love the fact that Django is in the end of it. I thought
it's just that everything is that people die at the fair, you know?
The worst prequel, remake, and rip-off / sequel was Annie.
No, it wasn't! I love that.
Movie arguments are brewing, yeah.
No, the worst one. They've got, listen. Out of, because they've also got their nominees, Atlas, whatever, The Legend of Hercules, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Transformers: Age of Extinction. Which one out of those, including Annie, would you say is the worst?
Have you seen the original Annie?
No.
Might have to watch it before we
I love that film though, okay? I loved it.
As I say, Saving Christmas was the one that dominated. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
That was about Kirk Cameron. He was a born-again Christian, and he really, really hams up the whole Christian agenda, doesn't he?
I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it.
I think it's probably best that we haven't seen it, though, to be honest.
And the redeemer of this year was Ben Affleck.
For making, Gone Girl and stuff like that, he's redeemed himself.
Gone Girl was amazing.
Jiggly.
Yeah.
That one actually really had me guessing. Kristen Stewart was a nominee for the Razzie turnaround.
For what?
Twilight.
What does Razzie turnaround?
Well, basically, it's just from going from shit to good.
What movie got her good?
Camp X-Ray. I think I saw a trailer for that. It's where she's like a guard at Guantanamo Bay, and she befriends a innocent. I don't know if he's innocent or not, but
he befriends an inmate.
I was intrigued.
Yeah, that sounds like a way more interesting premise than, oh my god, I fell in love with a vampire.
I need a boyfriend.
Who's glittery in the sun.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think she's actually quite a cool person, but it's her, her actual personality, in real life, seems quite cool.
But it's just...
So why
acting
can't she act?
You are what you act. You are the projects you choose. She chose to be in Twilight. So
the thing that really bugs me in Twilight was the whole.
No, do you know what? Actually, shut up! I watched this American talk show where they have celebrities read tweets about themselves.
Oh yeah.
And there was this one where it was Kristen Stewart. She reads one. I prefer Kristen Stewart when she was a guy, and she sits there. And she just moves her crotch, like guys do.
Yeah.
As a joke.
Repositions her imaginary penis.
Yeah, as a joke. So she's got a sense of humour. And she had a good smile in that. But apparently she can't act for shit.
I think I don't think anyone could act for shit in Twilight. Apart from...
To be honest, you're acting over a character that doesn't have a personality. So it's, how much... Technically then she did a good job.
Yeah, let's be honest. Okay, do you know what? Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that.
What about Snow White, though?
I didn't like the movie as a whole, to be honest, because it was in direct competition with Mirror Mirror. Yeah. And I preferred Mirror Mirror because it was the complete opposite, where it was a lot more humorous and colourful.
And, of course, it had genuine dwarfs.
And it had it was lighthearted.
And actual dwarfs.
Okay. And it had the girl who plays Clary, so,
From...
City of Bones.
Yeah, that's the one.
I have no idea what that is, but
Don't worry. It's a teenage drama thing.
oh, the tons of them like Beauty and the Beast. Oh my god, what a fuck!
No, Cassandra Clare. She wrote it. City of Bones. It's the Mortal Engine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Netflix.
Stacey watched that and like she was like,
Yeah, it was not as good as the book.
yeah.
So
Yeah, she was raving about the book. She was like, the book is actually at least a little bit interesting, but
You
like she
read
watched the movie
it.
and she was like,
The
no.
characters are actually very different, and they spoil the biggest plot line in the movie. They spoil it because basically, okay, spoiler alert. In the book, they say they make the two main characters think that they're brother and sister,
Yeah.
and they're in love, of course. And so that
in the
creates
morning.
that
97.1.
yeah, well, that causes tension for the next two books because they're all like, okay, well, we both know we really like each other, but we can't like each other. And then the guy thinks he's a demon. Anyway, long story short, they think they're brother and sister, so they can't be together. However, in the movie, they say, tell them that they're brother and sister, so they make them believe it.
It's like really spelling it out.
So it's spelling it out and ruining the storyline. I know why they did it, but I hate them to hell for it.
Yeah.
The reason why they did it is because if they didn't, mothers would be like, oh, it's advertising incest and, oh, think of the children and shit like that. So I'm just like, do you know what? Fine. But I still hate you.
Okay, going back to the Razzies, let's discuss the categories, the nominees, and which one we think. So, worst picture.
Honey, do we want to do another show on that?
I was about to say we're running out of time.
Are we?
Yes.
Well, put me down, Transformers Age of Extinction for everything.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm not going to say it's that bad.
No.
Because I haven't
Yeah, I second that actually.
Do yourself a favour, just watch Cinema Sins,
No, because look, there's
and that will cover it.
TMNT as well. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I saw that, and I don't think like it wasn't great, but it wasn't like.
No, but be honest, it's actually Megan Fox with turtles. It's not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's Megan Fox with some turtles.
It especially for the first half of the movie, but like a lot of people give that movie digs on, and yeah, I get it because it's not good, you know. But it's not. I don't think it's Transformers bad, personally.
No, fair enough.
Transformers bad.
Do you know what? Fair enough, because they did have one of the extras, like the I think what was it? One of the set team in one of the shots of the fight scenes, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And so many people have picked up on it, but how did continuity people not pick up on it before releasing the film?
Because
just do yourself a favour. Just watch the Cinema Sins, Everything Wrong With, and you will generally watch most of the movie.
Michael Bay is motherfucking money.
Motherfucking money.
All right, we need to wrap up there, guys.
Wrapping
up. So thank you, guys, for listening on to this episode. We did review Darkest Dungeon, War of the Human Tanks, and Hearthstone. Don't go look up Japanese Nico Para Catgirl stuff, because unless you like that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you're into that, cool beans. Cool.
Shall we say next week? I think next week I wanted to do an episode about the hype surrounding the Guild Wars expansion. I don't know. We'll figure it out from there. It might be that on Minecraft. But in regards to the episode, we hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, then please leave a like on the video and also share it all over social media. If you'd like to continue watching content and this podcast on a weekly basis, then subscribe to the Kittens of War channel by hitting the subscribe button. That way you can catch more of our sexy voices and talk about chocolate.
Ooh.
Now talk about sexy.
Sexy chocolate voices.
Sexy chocolate.
Ooh, yeah.
97.1, incest in the morning. Depressed memories. Alright, let's leave it at that. Thanks guys for watching the video, and we'll catch you all next week.
Have a good night. Bye.